Welcome back to Beelzebub the Jag. I've just come to try and fit the try and make the final adjustments to fit this new panel. And I did have a screwdriver. I don't know where it's gone. Doesn't matter. But you know, I just thought I'd have a stab around, because I know that, well, the panel flicks up here, because I am going to have to cut it along here somewhere. But I just sort of stabbing about here to see what was good, and the screwdriver went straight through into something a bit squishy. I thought, what on earth's that? Let me just show you. It's quite funny, really. Here we go. It's like bright yellow. It's a car sponge. There's a, see, this whole panel, it's actually detachable, and it's catastrophically rotten. And what somebody's done is shoved the sponge inside and stuck a massive lump of filler to the sponge, and it's past the MOT, which is ridiculous, to be honest with you, because this is this panel unscrews. It's got a row of screws here, look, and I actually trimmed that out, because it's supposed to have your gold panel all the way down here. The exhaust sort of hidden, but because of the MOT last year, I trimmed it away to get it to pass the MOT without big lumps falling off. But I do have a complete panel. Now, the panels it bolts onto are perfectly fine. I'm expecting those to be perfectly fine, and there's a bit of rot inside, but I think that rot's been caused by the bloody sponge being wet all the time. So when I get the floor in place, then I'll have to sort of cut this out. But this is just a flat panel with a hole in it. That'll be relatively straightforward. It might take me an hour to trim that, but I'll come back to that. I'm not worried about that. But, you know, obviously this has been wet all the time, and it's just caused the rot to go even further. But it's definitely caused this to rot. A wet sponge sitting on the other side, because I don't suppose that was rotten before. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, I knew the thing was rotten, but thankfully, this is the only serious rot in the car. The sills have got a bit of rot, but they don't need completely replacing. But, you know, when you sort of see bodges like that, a bloody sponge with half a kilo of filler stuck to it, you'd imagine the whole car's like that, but thankfully it's not. But that's a bit of a hoot, isn't it? You know, it's it just shows you. I think this was done when I first bought the car. I don't think I bought the car with this sponge in it. I bought the car with no MOT, and this was starting to show signs of rust. And I think the guy I took the car to without an MOT when I first purchased it and got into MOT I think he had a bit of a stab about, and then thought, oh dear, then just slopped it full of filler, and he put all this, you see all this ridiculous dripping paint, he put that on. It's gold hammerite. So I'm pretty sure he did that just to get the car MOT'd for me. So, you know, it is what it is. I knew that when I bought the car, I knew it needed structural work here. And I don't think for a minute that the original owner put that in. I think the man, like I say, when I first bought the car, I think Magic did that. But hey, what the hell? It's it's done. You know, it's not the end of the world. It got me through a time when I needed an MOT, and I'm now doing the work properly. But it just shows you the length people go to try and bodge something. Yeah, that's the other side of this bolt-off panel. Because that's supposed to, it was welded onto the underside of the floor at some point years ago, and it's not supposed to be welded on. It's actually supposed to be screwed on or riveted on. It is actually a detachable panel, and they do, due to their location, they do the sort of fill it with mud and they rot out, and this is there's no exception. Now, I don't think we've got serious rot on this side, but that one's not had a wet sponge sitting in it for literally months on end, so it's quite a surprise to find that.